Pakistan, and that we expect that to continue, and that whatever military aid we provide to Pakistan is to a military that reports to a civilian leadership. So I would go on much longer, except Gary spoke so well, said almost everything I was going to say, I realize that I stand between you and dessert. And in Politician 101, they put right there in the handbook for politics, do not stand between people and their dessert. Oh, you ate? What? But others have had dessert?
Yes, we had dessert.
Oh, well, let me tell you about the San Fernando Valley. Folks, I want to thank you for your support. I look forward to working with you, and even if I'm not standing between you and your dessert, I think I've covered enough. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Sherman. I would like to once again welcome Dr. Makbul Halapota to the stage to lead us in a question and answer period. So please, everybody, feel free to bring forward any questions you have after listening to the fascinating speeches we heard tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Leila. I just, to get back, I'm sure there are a lot of people here who have a lot of questions. This is our first session, and I've been very impressed by all the kind words and the wise words that we've heard from our speakers and from Mr. Sherman and Mr. Ackerman. But you're all welcome to ask any questions. Anybody?
My name is Cameron Abro from Columbia, Maryland. My question is, I've heard a lot about aid going to Pakistan in different forms, non-army aid going to the people of Pakistan. But most of it seems like it's going to the urban centers of Pakistan, not the rural centers. And especially we have gotten here together in the name of Sindh and Sindhis. So I don't see any aid going towards Sindh or Sindhis. The aid that is going to the Sindh is probably near to Karachi and near to the Urdu-speaking areas. So how can we address that since Congressman is here?
I'm sorry to interrupt you at your dinner.
Well,
Okay.
I want to thank the questioner. I think by getting involved in an organization like this, you focus those of us in Congress to focus on just that issue. Because frankly, we tend to focus on, well, what's going to be our policy toward Pakistan? And the only region of Pakistan that gets a lot of attention is the tribal areas, for obvious reasons. And so the issue of, are the various minorities of Pakistan being treated fairly by the government, is one that is now more on my mind than it was yesterday. And that's why you need an organization like this, and that's why it's wise for you to be here. There is a real attention toward the importance of aid to rural areas, but all too often the focus of both our government and governments around the world is the urban population. So I think that there is in the bill that I talked about a focus on the rural poor of Pakistan, and as a result of this meeting, I think Gary and I will be focusing on making sure that the different regions of Pakistan and the different ethnic groups of Pakistan are treated fairly.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Joel Wishingrad of World Media Reports, WMR News. And I also cover State Department and some of the leading think tanks here in Washington. over the years, I've asked questions, and I've met Manawar and his earlier group, the World Sindhi Institute. But one of the things that seems to be plaguing people is that they don't realize that because Sindhis are peace-loving, and it's in your culture going back 4,000 or 5,000 years, maybe longer, that you're a bulwark against the Taliban and, of course, Al-Qaeda. And Karachi being a city of roughly 14 million and larger, that would be possibly the next step in this whole group togetherness of these misfits going south and also through Baluchistan. It's time that I guess our government and others wake up to the fact that you just can't put money into a group that's going to funnel it to the military. Pakistan is not, fortunately, it's not Myanmar, or last has been known as Burma. So that hopefully, as Gary Ackerman said today and also Brad said tonight, that this has to be dealt with immediately. And I don't know what the policy concerns are of the present administration, but we've seen in the recent past the policy concerns with the Bush administration as well as President Perez Musharraf.
Thank you very much. That was very good comments, Dr.
Well, I had a question from Congressman Mr. Mr. Brad Sherman about the MQM. You know, they just recently met with some of the officials in the State Department without the permission of government of Pakistan, though they are the part of the government of Pakistan, about how this aid will be utilized. Who is the gentleman who is authorized to do, Mr. Lagari? Yeah, they came without the permission of government of Pakistan to meet directly with some of the State Department officials to probably to permit them to carry out that aid, you know, to implement that. I don't know how that's going to take place, but I was really concerned about that how come they come down to State Department without the permission of government of Pakistan. However, they are the part of the government of Pakistan to talk, to implement that aid, you know. Thank you.
Chairman, do you want to answer to that?
Well, I guess it's kind of two questions. First, why would this a party that is part of the government come separately? That is a matter of Pakistani politics. It is not at all unusual for members of Congress to travel and meet with foreign leaders, even when they're not speaking for the government. I have done it both ways, where I'm of the party that's out of the government, and I've met with foreign leaders, and when I'm the party that's in the government, but I don't, you know, say exactly what the State Department is saying. Otherwise, why would I need to do it? The fact is that although I'm part of a party, I'm thinking for myself. The second issue is the State Department agreeing to do the meeting, even though it's not with the Foreign Ministry of Pakistan. And the answer there is that the State Department needs to hear from a wide variety of sources to get information and to reach the right policy. So it sounds like a meeting that was useful on both sides. And if it was just foreign ministry to foreign ministry, I think an awful lot of the content would be lost. So the fact that it's a party that's in government, but obviously the individuals are not part of the foreign ministry, talking to our State Department makes a lot of sense.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I guess that is one of the reasons we have this Political Action Committee, to counter any wrong information or any information which is not factual of all the facts, and hopefully